Well, your year is going to be really busy, and Marcel talked about having your organization in order so you can have a calm year, one that's not going to have too much conflict or issues involved with your own club members. But we're going to have a little discussion about what kind of things should you be doing at what times during the course of the year. And we have a great resource that is going to be presented to us from Tommy Wegge, and he's going to lay that out for us. So, Tommy, if you want, I think you'll have control of the screen here, and I
Okay.
turn this presentation over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So I actually took up a couple of topics because I don't think the president year is just the president year when you have to do your duties again for the club. So I normally describe that being a president is like a 2-year term because it starts like half a year before your actual year and it ends up like half a year before your year. And there are a couple of things you can do to prepare yourself for the club and for the board and for the district. I took these items here so that I have a couple of things of a little bit everything. So I feel that one of the best things to prepare your year is to participate to RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute. And because of this issue, what Rotary has with these acronyms, so I always want to explain what something means because otherwise they might be a little foggy. So we have next RLI starting in February 7th, as it was mentioned earlier. We have the next part of that in March 14th, and the third part is in April, which means that I think February the 5th might be the last date to register yourself to the next RLI. And as I wrote here, so you can, I've been in RLI in Finland, I've been in RLI in Canada, as was mentioned earlier, so it's a really good way to networking, it's a really good way to learning new things, and it was that in both cases for me. It was that in Finland, it was that in Canada, and I'm also a RLI trainee from Finland. The content of the RLI training is always the same, but the thing is that, of course, it improves during the years. But the thing is that what I was taught in Finland was the same I was taught in Canada, and that's about that. Then this is probably the timeline which DGE was referring. We used to have this kind of Excel file in Finland, which is showing when do you actually have to act. The first part of this, about the first line, is for the presidents. The next one is for the secretaries, and the last one is for the treasurers. And there you can see actually when you have to be aware, starting to do something or starting to act something. And I actually checked these timelines with our district secretary, who gave me the dates so that they are approximately the right ones. And I can't, of course, say that if some clubs are having their AGMs in some other month, which is this information which I got from PIN, that I think it's normally used in December, or yeah, it might be some other month as well, but as you know, so that you have the flexibility to do that. Then I digged out some budget information because they vary a little bit on Canadian side and on the US side. This means that they are approximately the same, but the content is a little bit different. that was the biggest challenge for me, find out these numbers from this district, because every district does these things a little different way, but this is the way. As you can see, so the 7, 8 first lines are something which are actually invoiced by Rotary International, and then last 3 ones are something which district is invoicing. And club dues from Rotary International, they are half year invoices you get, so these semi-annual invoices. $71 is at the moment the district, the club due per member. And district is invoicing their fees according to the normal calendar year. So they're actually, because it's incorporated, it starts from 1st of January, ending last date of December. And insurances are a little bit different as well, because part of them are invoiced, at least the American side is invoiced by the RI, and the Canadian side is invoiced by the district, because the content is a little bit different, but the result, what it's covering, is the same, although the sums are varying a little bit. Then we have this empty space, which actually is something which I and the AG coordinator Ross has been preparing a little bit. So this is action plan. I'm translating it from Finnish to English. We have a couple of versions which we are discussing with coordinator Ross, and that's something you are going to have a little bit later. It's actually a plan which in Europe is very common to do. It's like your Sue had the term in her presentation there, but the thing is that this shows how you do things, what you do, when you do, and who is doing what. So this is like some kind of plan for that what happens to next year and how do you get there. But that will be shared you later on, so we get a template for that, and that's going to be in for your use. And then to remind you about the strategic plan, so ERI does that very clearly, simply. So the left-hand side picture is from their pages, and then the district has done their own strategic plan, which is like fulfilling the one we have on the Rotary International side. So these two tools together would be a good tool for you as well when you are planning your strategic plan in your club. And there is no need to be too complicated plans, because it's actually much more easier to adapt if it's more simple and not too many pages. So like I'm pretty much like, because I'm a son of an engineer, so I'm a one sheet guy pretty much, so which means that all the important issues has to be on one page, and that's it. You just choose the way how to fulfill that. Then one of the more tools for your year might be something like this, which I used when I was a president in my club. So I did, of course, in Excel again. So on the right-hand side, you can see those yellow and orange spots, which means that what's the theme of the month. So according to that, I chose those speakers or presentations for that month, and there's who is responsible for that when it's arranged, and then you can see the program name there as well. So I did it that much that I put even the dates when we had the meetings, but everybody is having once in a week their meeting, so that's very easy to do it in that way. And a little reminder of the membership and the figures. So it's very easy for you guys to find out from Rotary Central all these kind of figures. So as we can see, I didn't actually remember put the club number there totally, but I think we have around 60. Do we have 68 clubs at the moment in our district? But it has been going a little bit down. But I think I heard somewhere somebody talking that now in this spot at the moment we are 5 members on plus in this district, so which is a good thing, of course. And as you can see, this the Rock has been wondering that why he hasn't heard anything about them. Even the young girl knows that there are so many Rotarians in so many countries, and as we know that we are over 200 countries at the moment, and I hope that the Rock is not driving to the off the road because of this, that she realized that we are in so many different countries at the moment. So this is actually for the preparations, what I thought you would have good to know, and if you feel asking me something, so I would like to answer you. Thank you.
Tommy, you're going to make that chart's going to be available to them, correct? To the president-elect?
Yeah.
So they'll be able to work on their own timeline and get things set up for themselves.
Yeah, they get the template so that they can get familiar with that and all this information. So it's not going to be a problem. I have the file. I can send it to you or Sue so that you can share it in that timeline as you like.
Yeah, anytime we can get a tool out that can help them make their life a little bit easier, we want them to have in their possession. Tommy, they should be working on this thing presently, correct? You'd say?
Sorry?
This is the kind of thing they should be working on right now, right?
Yeah.
Because the sooner you have your year in place, and the easier it's going to go for them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, I like that. Very good.
So I see 3 hands there. So maybe Carolyn.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start.
Dave, you want to start first? Okay.
Yeah, I'll start. That was brilliant, Tommy. Absolutely brilliant. I looked at that and said, this is the type of thing that we should be managing to draw young people in to follow. It is a business approach to managing your club. And I think that this is why we can entice younger members to come into our clubs, because they will recognize that it is a training ground for business. I've been saying this for the last couple of years, and I don't.
Yeah.
The other point I wanted to point out is that dollar for dollar, when you looked at your Canadian US, it's about within $3 of each other when you do the exchange.
There was not a big difference when I counted the currencies.
And the last thing I wanted to mention was the word action. And there's no use starting a strategic plan without having that word action in it. So I encourage people to recognize that. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
How about Carolyn Mullen from Fonthill?
Thank you. And it's not necessarily just what Tommy had mentioned, but Sue had mentioned, and I've heard it a couple of times. So just regarding RLI, I'm pretty sure my PIN is now 10 years old. So I did RLI quite early on in the program becoming available in our district. Is my 10-year-old training still relevant today? So Tommy had mentioned, I think that it was similar what he was learning in Finland to what he's learning here now. So the program at its core hasn't really changed. So is there a refresher for people who haven't been in it for a while? That's one kind of question. 2 is that, so we keep saying, we're talking to our club, Rotary Leadership Institute is an amazing program. It's great. You should get involved. It'll teach you so much about Rotary. There's 3 parts. But beyond that, where's the distinct information? So we're talking about all these business plans. We're talking about, all this, drilling down to different things. So when I'm selling RLI, how am I selling it further than that? 3 points. It's about leadership. Like, what are you actually doing and why are there 3 different levels, or sorry, 3 different parts to it? What are the 3 different parts? So if there's any information that, you know, and maybe it is on the website and I just haven't looked, but if you can point me to marketing messages that we can continue to bring back to the club, because all we keep doing is saying RLI, 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 RLI. You need it. It's great. You should do it.
Yeah.
So, right? Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts. Yeah.
If I can answer you that way, that I feel that when you see different people presenting the same things, you get different things out of those presentations, because some of the people can some things and some of the people can some other things, which means that, like, for example, I called Glenn asking that can I participate to the foundation part of the RLI again, because I know that there's a good speaker at the moment. So I just wanted to hear what he is saying, because I know that he's a good guy having his presentation. So if you have 10 years ago done that, that's for sure giving the information, the basics of Rotary, but that is always happening something, some minor upgrades, updates. If you feel that you have to go, please go, because it's only $20 per each, so it's not a big issue in that way either. I recommend it strongly.
Yeah. If I can jump in too, Tommy, to help you out, the current materials, Carolyn, were put together in 2018. So there was a rewrite, and there's currently actually a proposal in front of RI to do another major rewrite. So in another year, I think you're going to see things start to change reasonably drastically again to update everything. But there is definitely a page on the district website, or you know, you can get a hold of Tommy or myself or Glenn Christensen, who runs the RLI program. We'd be happy to have a chat, or if you want somebody to come into your club and do a little presentation, we'd be happy to do that too.
Yeah.
That would be great. Thanks so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul, for
And there was one more hand up. Cecilia, please.
Oh, thank you. Well, pretty much the same as David, I think. I thank you for sharing these documents. That's how my brain kind of works, like having Excel sheets and just entering that kind of information. That kind of gave me a good, you said that you will share them. So thank you. That will really help me just to kind of like organize my brain in that way. And it's not that overwhelming to become.
No.
Right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to getting this Excel sheets. Thank you.
Thank you. And Scott, if I can ask that some of the later pets, if I and Ross could have a word for the action plan template, which we are representing them. So that would be great. Or what do you think, Ross? Can we do that?
Ross?
Oh, can we do that? I
Yeah.
can help you with that, Tommy. Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
sure
I would
we'll
like to
have
have I would like to have you back in here to talk about that and unveil that for the PEs. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
So we'll make that happen, and I think it's a real valuable tool. So, and you know, anything that we can offer them that's going to again make their life a little bit easier and give them a little bit of structure to take away some of the nervousness of trying to get through this whole big job. We're welcoming that. So I would appreciate you guys coming back on that.